Here. We're again coming back right from that second video on Ionic making like a GIF app of some kind. So what we're going to try and do now is add like a search bar at the top with like a button so you type something in, and instead of having to like change it in the code each time, it'll just give you like a new display of apps that are completely different. Now I will say I don't know how I'm quite going to do this yet. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more success than we did last time where I kind of fumbled through this part, but I have a good idea of what to do first. So we're going to jump over to this code and we're going to go to forms. I think forms would be a good place to start to get like an input box of some kind. So yeah, it's got to be one of these. I'm just trying to find out which input box looks best here. This one looks kind of good actually right here. Yeah, this one looks okay. So we're going to grab this, copy, jump over to the Ionic, and this is going to go above that content, right? Because my content is all the GIFs. So we're going to say, we're going to paste that, and then tab it out a bit. So you can see it's kind of working well. It's got like, a nice search bar. It's got a button for submitting. And then probably going to want to replace this with search and placeholder there. So it says search, and then you can just type something in, hit submit, something will happen, right? Nothing's going to happen now because there's nothing on the submit. But knowing JavaScript, we know that we can do some things to get around that. So what we want to do is inside of this button here is we're going to want to say like on click equals and then put a function in there. But first we have to go make the function. So what we're going to do is we're going to say function, and we'll just call this one find GIFs or something like that. And there we get a function. And let's see here. We're going to grab all of this right here. So not the angular. Remember, you always got to leave this angular part in there. Don't touch that. And we're just going to paste this all in the function, like everything. And tab it out one just so it's kind of aligned nice. All right, so if we run this function, it's going to do the same thing, but just to show you what we'll do, we're going to replace Star Wars with football. So again, still just going to show Star Wars, but when we hit on the HTML, we click the button, so on click equals, what the hell did I call this thing? Find GIFs. Find GIFs, that's a capital G, GIFs, like that. So when we click this button here, you'll see that it just replaced those other GIFs. God damn it, I keep using that. You gotta click on here. It just replaced those other GIFs with all these football GIFs, right? Because before it was Halo. Before it was Halo up here, or sorry, not Halo, Star Wars, and then we have this other one that says football, and it only happens when we call that button or hit the button, and it calls find GIFs here. So what we want to do is replace football with whatever is inside of the input box here. So first we got to like name this thing. We got to say this is ID equal to our search. That is fine, I think. And then inside the JavaScript, we will go here and replace football with document.get element by ID quotes. What did I call it again? Our search. So our search, and we'll just console log term real quick. Console log term, and then return. So nothing happens. So the reason why we're doing that is just so I can type in here, so like Google or something like that, hit submit. So right now it's returning this whole thing. So we got a target dot value, I believe it is, dot value. So if I try again, so Google or something, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now when we type that in, when we hit submit, you can see Google pops up in the console log there. So once we click, it'll search for like Google GIFs or something like that. So I'm just going to delete this return. Make sure you delete that return line. It's really important to get rid of that, otherwise it won't work. And also delete the console log. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to say document dot get element by ID, quotes our search dot value is equal to quotes, just so that, like, here, watch. So basically it's done now, but I'll search for I can't think of it. Well, I'll go for, no, not football, we just did that. Basketball. It's March Madness anyway. So when I click submit here, notice that this line right here just deleted whatever we just had right here, so that it's an actual search then, right? So we search for something, hit submit, and then it like goes away. Like we just submitted it, okay? It's just kind of like a nice thing to have. And then now we get some basketball GIFs in here. Take it as what it is. These aren't really basketball GIFs. They're kind of just GIFs of people around basketball. But so that's how we do it. That was actually surprisingly easier than I thought it might be. So now you got this awesome app, which we should probably rename to like the GIF app. GIF app. So, it's kind of just cool. So it's basically default Star Wars. You could set the default to like whatever you want by changing it here. And then basically whatever you search for, like March Madness maybe. You search for it, bam, you got some March Madness GIFs. Yeah. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed these videos. That's the end of this 3-part series on how to make a GIF app. Kind of cool. If you guys are going to do this for your project or something like it, I just suggest that you, make it, do something else with it. Like also have, maybe instead of just having the search bar, maybe have like something where you can, have more GIFs or something like that, or do something when you click on a GIF or something like that. But yeah, that's all I got. So see you guys later.